Yo, what's up, people? So I'm making this video today. Just want to like shout out and remember my granddad who passed away in October last year. And all fairness, I've been had this video in my head to make, ever since his death. I just haven't. I get it's not even the courage, just it's the willpower to kind of sit here and just reflect on what's happened. And unfortunately, in life we have to go through these. You have to go through things, and you know, life is perishable. You can be here 1 minute and then the next minute you're not here, whether that's your granddad or, anyone really, unfortunately. But that's just life, right? So yeah, he was an amazing guy. Big, 6'5", stoic character, what I remember of him. He was always a gentleman. Um and an all rounder just nice, nice guy. But even though he was a nice guy, he was an incredible guy as well. He came from a working class family, up north in the Wirral. Met my grandmother, um, uh, my great uncle's, I think it was his party or something, and then she was, a bit younger at the time, and they kind of met, and then I think it was a few years later when, they reconvened and, ended up getting together. And yeah, that was an interesting story, and then obviously, had my dad, etc. But yeah, we had a funeral, and it was great to, reflect on his life. I did a speech, and it was a good time. We got all my family was together, and it almost like the unfortunate thing about life, it takes these things to then come together as a family, and you know I I am my granddad Graham. So he is me now. So I'm the next generation. So it's all about just doing what I can, and fulfilling my dreams, my desires, and just going after what I want in life. And I'm sure he'd be happy with that. Um, but yeah, he joined the army. I think it was when he was 21, and then he came back from the army at like 23. And ever since that, just had real ambition. I think he worked in a supermarket, and then was a guy who was really outstanding. In his field. Yeah, he was really outstanding, and I think he worked his way up, and then he developed like an idea to bring cigarettes and alcohol into the supermarkets, and I think was the first person to actually do that commercially. Because I think before, if I'm not right, you had to get it from off licenses or tobacconists. So he was really a pioneer in that sense, and he was like cheap alcohol in cheap supermarkets, and he ended up developing a big empire. Well, yeah, and he did his own thing and was really successful in his own way. And it's really great to have that as someone in my genes who's done that and who possesses those characters, and it's really inspiring. And he was very successful in his own way, and he was just a good guy, a family guy. And there's a lot to say for that. And obviously in the day and age now we are in, the masculinity is definitely being repressed, and it's kind of our job to kind of really fight back from that, and really do our thing to make it right. You know, yeah, we got to do our thing to make it right, and everyone's got their own idea in life and what they want to do going forward. So yeah, but all I can say is rest in peace to him, and he was really a true inspiration for to have as a role model as one of my family, and also when I reflected back, and this is, a good lesson for you guys in a way, I was at work just thinking, you know what? Wish I called him more. I wish I made more of an effort. I wish I picked his mind before. In the back of my head, it was always like, I'll go over there. Because in the last year, I didn't really see him, unfortunately. I was like, I'll go over there at some point, I'll make it happen. But then I never went to it. And, that was a pretty hard for me to soak in. Like, I didn't really make the most of him when he was there. And that's probably why I haven't made this video yet, because I didn't want to keep bringing it up, but it's something that I've had to accept. And what can I learn from this? How can I make my life better because of what's happened? So these things do happen, and we just have to move forward, not back. Um, it's just part of the process in life. But anyway, so yeah. So for what's coming for me this year, I got a release called 17, dropping on the 31st of January. It's a really great record, you know, it's really fun. And what I've realized from music is what maybe I was lacking. It's all about branding and marketing. And that's what I'm really zoning in on, creating my image, you know, just getting that kind of nailed out in a way, you know, just really getting that, you know, pretty much just to a T. So yeah, I'm really just gonna step up this year. I just want to get myself out, marketed right, and then alongside that performances. But my main thing now is just get the music out there and really develop a brand for myself and me as an artist. And then as soon as I do that, as soon as I go perform live, people will appreciate the art because when I've been performing live, people get it, but it's like as soon as you're out there really as like a brand on the internet in terms of your music and stuff, that's when people want to go to the shows. That's when people recite the lyrics. So that's when it's really important, to be honest with you. Um, but yeah, you know what? I'm gonna keep this today short and sweet. Not talking about me anyway. Um, you know, this is something I just wanted to do. Back in February, I started the Sky High Speaks, and I haven't planned to do much more of them. Whenever I get, even if it's 3 months, 6 months, it's like if I can just speak to the camera, when I feel fit, that's good. My main purpose here is to do music, and then if I can let a bit about myself as well, but also keep it some of it of a mystery. I feel like that's quite a cool thing to do as well. Not give too much away. People can get out on the music, but I think it's a really important lesson that I said today about you know really make the most of your time with your grandparents or people, friends. Like whilst they're here, because life is so fleeting and it's so delicate. So, and you might even hear that and be like, "Oh, I'll just keep doing it." Nah, just make the effort now, because you never know someone might pass away. But anyway, enough from me. 17's out on the 31st of January. Loads of good stuff to come. Hope you guys have a great rest of the year. Well, good start to the year, sorry. And yeah, that's about from me.